Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at Wheel Talk Podcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Oh man, I clicked after you. I fucking know it.
I hope that worked.
Me too.
I think it's good. Hi.
Hi. Ryan, how you doing?
Hi there.
Hi.
A
Hi there,
little-
hey there, and
little-
hello.
Little late getting over here, but we're here.
We're here.
I was like, oh man, Becca's just building up her resume against me of being late.
Dude, seriously though.
I do take it for advantage, honestly, a little bit.
I checked your Instagram first to see if you were posting stories because sometimes that's why you're late.
I did not post a story because I was like,
Yeah.
she's gonna either see that I post a story and then write her own story, saying that she's waiting on me.
No, I do bash you a little bit, but you were only 6 minutes late. I mean, and I was finishing up editing the podcast, so it was fine.
Okay, that's good.
People should know that I'm always on time. Like, you guys should know by now. I know that it sounds like I'm a freaking irresponsible person.
Yeah, for this, I'm like give or take 5 minutes, but it's gonna be either on time or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm always.
It's not gonna be 5 minutes early.
And if I'm not, I text you and I'm like, ugh, I need this time. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna text you, but I was mid putting handles on stuff.
Dude,
so I was like,
that's fair. I know you're working in the studio, so I expect it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna let time get away from me necessarily.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to condense a bunch of stuff into the finite amount of time that I have to.
Yeah. Is Erica there today?
No, she's here tomorrow. She's here on Mondays and Thursdays.
Well, that's rude.
So she'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, I was. So I ran a bunch of errands today. We'll talk about the show this weekend, but I ran some errands to put a sign out in the neighborhood for the show.
Oh yeah.
Stopped at Lowe's to get some of that like craft paper to do some things in the studio, and then went to drop a package off at UPS. It was a wholesale order.
Nice.
And then I got some stuff printed at Staples. So got my old thank you card, business card stuff.
Oh, good lord.
Rachel was like, why don't you just get them printed? And I actually did look into some printing. I think it's gonna be like 50 cents a card, maybe.
No.
Maybe 40 something cents a card.
Don't do it with the rounded corners if that's important to you. Just cut the corners.
No, I was doing squared off.
Okay. Why don't
But
you do
squared
stickers like I do? People fucking love them. Ryan.
I'm not that fancy though. My graphics are not fancy. Like it's super simple.
Yeah, but I made you that cool graphic that you can make into a sticker. Remember, I made you a circle.
How much would those cost though?
I don't know.
Those would have to cost at least 40 cents a piece, right?
No, I think they're like 20 maybe. I don't know, but nobody's ever lost one of my cards. Like, I'm not shitting. You saw it. You saw at the show how many people are like, oh, this is so cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fucking thing, man.
I was trying to see how much I ended up. 10 divided by 15. So I pay about 65 cents a piece per page.
Per page.
And I'm if I update, I'm going to update the graphics so I can fit them all on a page. And I can get 24 to a page. So, what did I say, 65 cents? Divided by 24? 3 cents. 3 cents a piece plus the time to...
That's a lot of fucking time. I'm sorry, but it is. It's kind of a pain.
I don't have to round the corners either. I mean...
You don't have to round the corners. There is that.
I mean, if I'm in a rush, I won't round the corners,
It's
but
fine, being professional. It's fine.
it's just, I mean, I feel like most people are going to throw them away anyways, so...
That's why you give them a sticker. Then they won't. Do you know how hard it is to throw a fucking sticker away? Hard.
I don't know. I just feel like giving an adult a sticker just doesn't feel professional to me.
What?
It doesn't feel professional to me to hand them a sticker. And plus, I would be a little more, like, tight to the vest of giving these things out if I'm getting 500 of them. I'm not saying anybody who gives out stickers is not professional. I'm just saying, to me and my brand, it doesn't feel professional for me to have stickers.
That's fair.
But I don't know what the sticker would look like. I mean, I wouldn't go with the holographic like you've got.
No. Yeah, you wouldn't. I made you one that was a circle, I think. I made you one that was a circle, and it was, like, green, and it had your face
Wait,
on
did
it.
you make a sticker for me?
Yeah, I made you a sticker.
You pulled a graphic out of it, but I don't remember you...
Yeah. I made you, like, a little... What if... Okay, what about this? What about this?
Maybe I put it with orders. I would be willing to put them in an order, like as an extra.
Okay, but what about this? What if I make you a graphic for printing, and all you have to do... What if we just make you a new graphic, and then you can print them out? Do you print them out on black and white, or do you color?
I do black and white on craft paper.
On craft.
I like the look of the craft card because it goes with my kind of wood tones and my craft bags.
I agree.
And the black stamp, so it's just black on craft paper.
Okay.
Plus, that's the cheapest option is to print black and white. So.
Do you bring your own paper, or do you buy the paper there?
Yeah, I got a stack of like 70 pages. That's why it's also cheaper too.
Because you have your own paper.
Well, I don't know if it's... they might upcharge me because I bring my own, but I don't know. It's 11 by 17, so it's like a pretty big sheet.
Don't you have a printer?
I can't fit 11 by 17 through my toner through my laser printer.
Why don't you just do it on 8.5 by 11?
Because the 8.5 by 11, if you get it, is not... It's a thicker cardstock, and it won't feed through the printer as nicely as the 11 by 17. I could probably find some paper that's 8.5 by 11. And I'd have to find a thinner weight.
I have a question for the crowd. How does it feel to be in Ryan's brain right now? I'm like, I don't think about these things at all.
Because you're just like, I got the graphic, I send it over, I get it printed, they send it to me, I'm done.
Yeah, that's true.
You spend the money and you're like, okay.
Wow.
Next time I order them, I got to spend that money again.
Money well spent.
Versus I go to Staples. I mean, I printed 15 sheets of it this time. So I'll get... Yeah. Right now, I only get 15 per sheet. But, you know, 15 times 15. Like, that'll carry me through the year. That's 220 plus cards.
Okay.
For $10. And I got to spend time to cut them. You would not have spent $10 for 220.
I've spent very little on cards because Vistaprint has cheap. They have like coupons all the time. Like you only buy them when it's 50% off.
But don't you only get them in sets of 50 or something, and you got to use different email addresses every single time and all that shit? Or am I thinking the sticker discount things where you get like a...
Yeah, you're thinking the sticker discounts. Okay. Business cards. Ooh, those are nice. Standard shape.
Don't you have to pay extra for custom designs too? You can't just... I would have to contour to the design they have.
No, you can make your own design. I'll make you one.
Drop a design in and it's cheaper or similarly priced.
Yeah.
And I want it on craft paper.
Okay. Let's look it up.
I don't think it's going to be that cheap. It'll be... Maybe you'll get it to 40 cents.
40 cents a card?
Yeah.
Doubt it. Okay. This is great. I should just upload a design. Okay, standard. Do you want standard or square?
Square.
Okay.
Don't need the rounded corners.
Square. Horizontal, blue, blue, blue. New text field. Ryan.
The craft paper part was... I didn't do much research when I was looking. I just looked at Woo, Vistaprint, and this one called Zazzle was the other one.
And we only care about the front, right?
Yep, black and white front.
Okay.
Preferably matte.
Paper thickness, standard.
Not glossy.
Paper stock, matte. Corners, standard.
Unless it's cheaper with a card that's thinner.
If you got 5,000, they would be 4 cents a card on regular paper. If you got
regular paper?
Regular
like
paper because
printer paper?
No, like fucking business card paper.
Okay, well that's not regular paper, that's cardstock.
Oh my god. Look at her butt.
4 cents?
4 cents. Here, wait, let's see. Recycled. Is it recycled matte? Is that the...
Does it look like craft paper?
I don't know.
Like is it brown? Like a bag?
I fucking know what you're talking about. I just don't know if recycled matte is...
I mean, recycled's good.
Craft. Okay. Here we go. Craft paper, standard.
Which I don't know why craft paper always has the K in there instead of a C.
Yeah, that is dumb, isn't it?
Why is that?
Square. Edit my design.
This is great audio for the folks.
I know. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Continue without the back.
I didn't ask Becca to go through this, but I feel like she's not gonna have a better opportunity to get me to spend on these than right now.
You're correct. You are 100% correct.
She's gonna completely forget about this conversation after we're done. So
if you purchased 2,500 cards, it would be 8 cents a unit. If you purchased 500 cards, it would be 10 cents a unit. If you purchased 100, it would be 35 cents a unit.
Really?
Yes, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time and money.
8 cents, 10 cents. Okay, that's more reasonable. Can you send it over to me?
It's just Vistaprint.
That's Vistaprint?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Screenshot the settings you have or something.
Okay.
Does the URL have a bunch of extra stuff on the end of it?
I'll tell you what. I will. Yeah, but I didn't do anything. It just has a black square in it because I didn't want to go through all the typing and things.
Okay, but you've set the color, the shape, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, but I'll do it for you later. I'll make you a fucking card and send it over to you later. Promise.
Well, I got to update the information on it.
Okay.
But
8 cents, you're okay with 8 cents?
I would be okay with 8 cents. That would totally be worth it.
Oh, Ryan.
I didn't realize that was doable. I assumed they would be like outrageous.
We're not
30, 40 cents.
No. That's why people get billions of cards.
Because I'm like, all right, you make it square, they're going to charge you. Rounded corners, obviously, they'll charge you.
You could probably do rounded corners for almost 10 cents for like 2,000. I bet.
I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't want all 4 corners rounded, though.
I don't think you have that option, so.
Okay, well, then I'll have to do it myself.
Okay.
I just like it makes it a little more unique that it's not all 4 corners.
Anyway, let's move on. How was your week?
What did I even fucking do this week? We went out of town to Augusta, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Which is a little outside St. Louis.
Okay.
It was great. I was going to say great weather. It was sunny, but it was a little chilly and windy and stuff. But yeah, it was good. We went with my brother and sister-in-law. And it was just kind of a chill.
Yeah.
Went to wineries and dinner and stuff like that.
Looks like you had a great time.
Yeah, it was good. We stayed in a bed and breakfast. A bed and breakfast. That was the first time I stayed in a bed and breakfast. It was pretty great, actually.
Yeah, they make you food and stuff, right?
Yeah, that we had breakfast provided. They had some little cake stands with treats and desserts every night.
Oh.
So they had pumpkin spice cookies, they had chocolate chip cookies, they had
Yum.
some lemon something tart things. It was really good. And then you're just kind of in a house setting, so they got the character of the house and all the little trinkets, and
Yeah.
there's a hot tub there, which was nice, and fireplace and all that good stuff. So yeah, it was a good time. It was a little weird because I came back from Trevor's the weekend before, so I was already kind of on sort of a vacation. Then I came back, and then we went on another trip, so it was a little close in proximity. I would have liked to have a little more time to get back in the studio mix of things.
Yeah.
But it was a good little short weekend, so that was great. And then I don't think I'm just kind of preparing for my show this weekend.
Okay.
So that's kind of the focus of
what show do you have this weekend?
What's going on. So I'm doing the home studio sale at our house for Saturday, Sunday, which I didn't do last year because we moved last year around October, September time frame, and it wasn't ready to go for a holiday sale in November, December time frame. So this is the first time doing it. We'll see what happens, and we'll talk about that later today.
You should give out free alcohol so then people will buy more. Tell them they have to take 2 shots.
We're talking about whether to have snacks or something. I think we're going to have some snacks like cookies and holiday kind of things. I don't know that we're going to have liquid, though.
Yeah. I think that you should have a requirement. Like, what you should do is have a show and require everybody to have 2 shots before they come into the house. And that way, once they're in the house, they're loose, they're feeling good, they're ready to spend their money.
Yeah, they walk down the back steps, crack their head open on the pavement.
Yep. We love a good lawsuit.
Yep. Just don't roll down the hill.
Yeah, seriously, that would not be fun. Oh my god.
Jeez. What? You're a 10-year-old? 2 shots. You know the deal,
2
kid.
shots. Root beer for you.
All right, what's going on with you? What's new?
I'm like way ahead. I'm like really, like really ahead right now, which is kind of strange. Ahead
of what?
Everything. Like I don't have any, like, I'm not behind on work. You know how like where you like to be, where you're like have pieces that you don't even need. I'm kind of in that space right now, and
you're gonna need them though.
I know, but I've been trying to like make myself do them, ahead of time, yeah, I ran out of clay, but I found out that that Brickyard has clay. Has Kentucky Mudworks.
And you have Dark Star?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm going to go buy...
I don't think Queen City has Dark Star. They supply other Mudworks clay, but I don't know if they have Dark Star.
Yeah, so sorry, Link. I'm going to go to freaking Brickyard because then I don't have to ship it. I didn't even know that was an option, so that's great. So that's good. And, I told you that I got a mini kiln, right?
Yes.
We talked about it on here, right?
Yeah, I believe so. You got it right after you got back from the coffee show.
Update on it. I've been doing like almost a firing every time I go into the studio because it's done in like no time. Mm-hmm. I did, however, one caveat that I wasn't super excited about. I can fit 4 fancy mugs in there, which is great. Mm-hmm. Hooray. And I fired them last night, but they didn't get up to temp. They were almost vitrified, but not quite. I think they must have gotten to like cone 4.5. Not like a high 5.
The kiln's a little more dense with 4 pieces in there?
It must be, and it's so tiny and
right?
It loses heat. So I think I'm going to have to do like a long hold. So the next time I'm going to put a cone in there. I've done this long enough that I can look at a glaze and be like, that's not vitrified. So just because I know how the glazes work. But Yeah, so, but it's been fucking great for jewelry and for all the other things, like just doing fast firings, like turning them around. Um, and you'll be proud to hear that I've been doing them on fast.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I figured the reason I don't do them on fast is because it wears down the elements faster. And in that kiln, the element is probably like $40. So, like, who cares?
Well, I mean, that's the same price as other elements, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
about
there's only
$40
one.
an element. Yeah.
Like,
you're saying to replace the whole
element.
The
whole element is like less than $40 probably. So, so I'm like, I could do that.
That could factor into how it gets the temperature in too, right? If you're holding and all that stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, I had a funny dream. So I'm doing a show this weekend in not Bellingham, Bloomington.
Bloomington, yeah.
Bloomington. And the show is at this big convention center, okay? And Deanna,
no.
What?
Convention center show?
No, it's the holiday. It's like a craft one. It's like an actual fine arts show.
Expo Center crafts convention center shows. I'm like,
no. You get like an 8x8 section. It's
okay.
Yeah. Rebecca did it a couple years ago and made like $4,000 in 2 days. So, anyway, Deanna's doing it too. She got called in last minute. She was on the wait list. And last night I had a dream that, I was just planning on going down and sleeping in the van because I had it. So just throwing in a mattress and sleeping in the back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you're welcome to sleep in the van with me. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Normal people probably are not too fond of getting up after sleeping in a van that's going to be 30 degrees that night and then going to a show.
Where do you take a piss?
At the gas station?
Okay.
Well, you would take it in a bottle, but anyway. But so.
Or normal people might be like, hey, we know each other. We can get a cheap hotel with 2 double beds.
You know what? Shut
for
the
half
fuck
the
up.
price.
I'm talking.
Okay, go ahead.
So
dream time.
So I was like, you can sleep in the van, and because I was just gonna go down alone, right? And now she's coming with, so we're gonna take my van down. And she was like, hey, I'm gonna get a cheap hotel, and I was like, cool, I'll split it with you. But in my
this is still the dream, right?
No, this is real life. Okay, now we're getting to the dream. So the dream. So we drive down to Bloomington in this dream, and she pulls up and she's like, guess what? This, I think this is the hotel that we got. Or like, she like didn't order a hotel, or not order a hotel, but like book a hotel. So we just like pulled up to one and she's like, let's see if they have any spots. And I was like, I will split the hotel with you if there is a pool. And there was like all of these college kids around, like jumping around like a sorority party or whatever. And then, so we do that, and then we go to the convention center or whatever, wherever it's at, and all of our stuff is like in this separate room, like they had stored it, in this separate room, and we had to pick it all up and then go to the elevators and find our spot. Well, when I was picking all up, my parents showed up, and my mom was like trying to help me grab all my stuff, but she was like grabbing everybody else's stuff and like putting it on my cart. And I was like, Mom, stop helping. And she was like grabbing all these other people's shelves and stuff. And I was like, could you stop helping? And they were like just getting in the way, but they were like trying to help. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine. So then we get all of our stuff and then we go to this elevator, and the elevator won't let you on until you log in and like click your name and tell them who you are, so that they can tell you
the worst.
So that they can tell you where the booth is. And so so I'm like on the computer thing, and it was like hard to click it, and I'm like trying to find my name, and I accidentally clicked the name under me, and then I had to go through the whole process again. It took me like 35 minutes just to click my name on the fucking elevator, and then when I did, I couldn't remember what spot I was in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I remember more. I didn't remember more earlier. So Also, in order to be in this show, you had to participate in a in like, I don't know, like a little info session at the beginning, and we showed up at the info session and it was like not informative at all. And so I was just there, but they gave us a full breakfast, like pancakes, eggs, bacon, sausage, hash browns, like the works. And I was like, dude, Deanna, there's like food here. And I'm like eating the food. And then I got in a fight with somebody because like, this is useless. And I like screamed it. And then we got kicked out of the meeting. So yeah, that was the dream.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The thing about the logging in thing, that's probably not far off from where we're going to be at some point.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine going into an apartment building, there's literally no buttons for the floors.
Yeah.
You have to have your device that has your ID code
And it
that
like
you have to
clicks
be
it.
logged
Yeah.
into, and then you have to tap it on this thing and it knows where you're supposed to go.
Well, it's like
so
those.
it pulls you to your
Yeah,
floor.
it's like those fancy elevators that like when you get in, you have to like tap your card just to so you can push a button. You know.
Mm-hmm. I don't see that being that far off.
I don't either. Insane.
Or you walk with your phone and you're walking toward the elevator and it knows you're coming so that it just opens when you get there or something like.
Crazy. I will say though, today I for some reason today, like we're doing a short episode today because I feel weird. I've always had like a really sensitive nose. That's why I get car sick. And today I feel like I can smell this like almost diesel fuel on me or around me. And it's like happened since like 4:00. And it is the worst. I'm having a very hard time today. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said you're ahead of the game too. Are you ahead with your packing and situation stuff? I saw you were getting some apartment tidying up happening.
I feel like I really am, honestly. Like I went through all my clothes and I downsized all my clothing, so I only have 15 shirts, like 2 pairs of pants, like leggings and 6 draperins because apparently that's important. It was hard to get rid of the draperins because my mom made them. And
those are the ones that you wear kind of as a outfit, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And like I wore it today, and they do get dirty because they get clay all over them, and like sweatshirts. So I'm like good on clothes. I went through all of my papers, all my paperwork, and got rid of like 2013, 2014 business stuff, and like really minimized everything. And I got like a fire safe little briefcase kind of thing to put like my social security card in, my birth certificate, all those things, like the really important stuff. Typically I keep those in Teresa and Brandon's safe, but they're in Tennessee. So
yeah.
So
your social security card is in there. Well, it used to be.
No, my social has always been with me, but they had my birth certificate and my car title and
okay.
Like stuff that I don't need on a regular basis.
Right.
They still have a few of my things, like really expensive stuff. But yeah, and then I've sold or given away all of my large items. So my kitchen table and my bed are going to the cleaning lady in this apartment complex. My couch is going to my friend. My yeah.
Did you figure out what you're doing with all your ceramics and things like that?
The ceramics, I've been kind of like, I know I said I was going to do like a secret giveaway, but I've been kind of like giving them away to people that come to my apartment, like whenever they come, just like handing them off.
Okay.
It seems a little bit more.
It saves you from having to pack and ship.
Yeah. And like I was going through them and I don't really have like a really impressive collection. I think they're great because I've collected them, but I feel like most of my impressive stuff is actually within bowls and plates and stuff, and I don't know if people really want that stuff, but I might keep some of them. The more I think about it, the more they might just end up in a box for later.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's not like they're going to go bad or anything, so.
Yeah.
As long as you have a place to store them.
Yeah.
Or somebody that wants some pottery
Well, yeah,
they can use it.
I'll put it in my parents' basement. It'll be fine.
There you go.
So yeah, I feel very ahead of the game almost.
Nice. Yeah, we'll see how your show goes this weekend, and then we've got a show together next weekend.
Yes.
And the weekend after.
Yes.
And the holidays are happening, so hopefully you got. So so right now you're like, I'm ahead of the game on pots and fancy cups and stuff, and earrings hopefully. But do you kind of feel the tightness after the show's over, and then you're kind of back to, okay, here's what I have to use for the next show, or
I think so.
This is what I have for the next 4 shows.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm gonna try and throw 30 more wine glasses, or maybe 60 tomorrow, and then I think if I do that, I'll feel really prepared as far as the wine glasses go. And then if I just keep up 30 a week, I think I should be good for the rest of the year. So
yeah. Nice.
The earrings are so easy to make. It's almost easier to make them on demand to see like what I need, you know?
Yeah. And then are you going to do a sale online to get rid of the last stock that you have before the lease is up?
Probably. I might do
or store it in the studio or something like that.
Yeah, I might do a mystery box sale. For all of the extra pots that I have, so.
Yeah, I'd like to do some kind of online. I think I'm just going to mix and match, just post a bunch of random stuff. Because I'd love to get a few soup bowls, a few oil bottles, a few carved things. Because I just haven't really prioritized that at all. Yeah. But shows have been pretty good for me, so.
Yeah.
That's been the priority.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we're just really good right now as far as life is concerned. As far as like financial and where I am, like I'm ahead of the game. I don't feel stressed. I normally feel stressed when Christmas comes around, and I'm like set.
I mean, it seems like the last few shows have been good financially to carry you through.
Yeah.
Easily the month that you made the money, but
yeah, like last month I made $5,000, which is way more than my goal. So
right, so that'll carry you through, and then hopefully the last shows of the year should carry you through January, February kind of thing too.
Yeah, we'll see about January, February. Taking that just a day at a time.
That's why I've been throwing little like show opportunities your way just in case you feel ambitious. I'm like, she's probably gonna say no, and it's probably way too much.
Yeah,
I would probably have to question it, but I'd probably end up saying yes to some.
Yeah.
Because I just overexert myself anyways.
No, but you're right. Like trying to get as much as I can before.
Yeah, because I know you're in this mode of making, so while you're making,
yeah,
if you get that little urge, then I was like, if I catch her at the right time, she will say yes and she'll want to do it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about that one that you sent me. You should email her and ask her if I could do it. I would do it. The one before West Side.
So you do it on Friday night, and then
yeah, because I could just come to your house
Saturday
afterwards. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I could probably help you tear down maybe, because I'll be downtown.
Okay.
I'll be downtown till 9, but you'll probably be tore down by then.
Yeah, so. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll write her back and just say, hey, Becca's interested. You should let her know.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But okay. All right, so do we want to get to the first listener question?
Ready.
Okay, so this one came from Jesse Buckingham.
Okay.
Jesse.Buckingham. I don't know why that was weird to
I know, I was like, why is that a hard name?
Well, I was trying to think of how to say that. You ever start reading something and you're like, you feel like you forget?
Yes.
You ever start reading a number and you're like, I feel like I'm going to forget what these numbers mean?
Yes.
Like what the name of that number is.
Yes.
So that's why I was kind of blanking a little bit. Okay, so the question is, just curious if you have an episode talking about how you named each of your businesses.
Yeah.
We didn't have a full episode. I don't know that you and I could stretch that to a full episode.
No, I think we can stretch it to about 10 minutes.
Maybe. Okay, do you want to start since I asked it?
Yeah, sure. Yours is a lot shorter than mine anyway. So mine is obviously 5 Lanes Pottery, And everybody, I will say that everybody thinks it's because of the ridges on the sides of the cups. They always think they're like, oh, there's 5 in every cup. I'm like, that's, first of all, that's impossible. Second of all, like, no.
Impossible because you're not that consistent?
Probably, yeah. And like, I don't want to be that
to be that intentional about a pot.
Like, what if something's tall? Anyway, um, so what it came from was this. Very specifically, I remember in college there was somebody that had a fun little dot sequence as their signature because we had to sign all of our pots in college. And he had like this cool dot signature, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't even think about not using my like name. And it was also at that point in my life where my signature was total shit. You know, like I hadn't
just your handwriting.
I hadn't like figured it out. I hadn't like figured out the cool signature that I have now. And right. Also signing on the bottom of pots was really hard for me. So I had trimmed this like lovely pot. And it was beautiful, and I didn't want to mess the foot up. And so instead of putting my name on it, I put 5 lines down. Becca. Becca. So that's where 5 Lines Pottery came from.
Did you start the 5 lines with the tool that has 5 lines in it, or do you just scratched 5 lines?
I think originally I did it with just I didn't even scratch it. I just like laid it down on the side with a needle tool. But it did become very convenient that the tool does have 5 lines. That one, the little scratchy tool. Yeah.
Depending on the scratchy tool, I think I had the ZM Tools one. I think there's 6, but maybe there's 5. I don't know.
Yeah, the little orange one is 5. But yeah, so that's how that came to be. And unfortunately, no, it is not 5 lines of Coke. Though plenty of people think it is. I don't do drugs.
You have a cool graphic of that with somebody drew. It's like a character.
I do.
I don't know if it's a caricature.
Yeah, it's a caricature. It's a my friends are caricature artists, and they drew me a cool one. And I was actually snorting clay dust with a $5 bill.
Just getting right in there.
Getting right in there.
Forget about the years of silica injected. Just right to
snort it right in the nose. Yeah. So
don't do that.
Yeah, but it's funny though. I do love that reference though, because like my mentor was like, "You should not name your business 5 Lines Pottery. Like people are gonna think you do drugs." And I was like, "I don't really care." And now when I tell people to like how to remember me, I'm like, just remember 5 lines of Coke. They never forget. Just like catch them off guard, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna remember that forever.
I never knew that until you said something. Is the number 5 of them? Is that a consistent number, or is that just a thing?
No, it's just a thing.
Okay.
It's more lines.
Wow,
it's more
3 lines.
Yeah, it could be 3 lines. Yeah. Yeah.
So because it's 5 lines, I don't know, lines.
It's just the lines. It's not the number, as much as it is the lines part. But
yeah.
So that's
and then
why
you didn't always scratch the 5 lines in there. You kind of evolved to a stamp at one point.
Yeah, I had a stamp with 5 lines in it, and I would do it on the edge of the pot. And then I eventually just stopped signing anything. I had a stamp that had the 5 lines.
Yeah, so if you got a Becca pot with a signature, you're kind of lucky.
You're kind of lucky because it's never going to happen again. Yeah.
Do you feel like you should sign the fancy cups?
No.
No?
I kind of love that they're not.
Really?
You know? It's like, because nobody would do that.
Or it's so unique.
Yeah, nobody's not going to sign their fancy, like, $100 pot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm the only... I would almost guarantee that I'm, like, one of the only people that doesn't sign a cup that they sell for $100.
I'm sure there's somebody else out there. But, yeah, not that many.
Not that many.
You want the recognition and you want the... Well, some people will add fanciness to their signature with a $100
That is
pot.
True.
It's not just a stamp, you know?
Yeah. That is true. I do feel like if I put a signature on the bottom, it would completely mess up the whole thing about the bottom of that cup, you know?
Because you sand it?
Yeah, because it's so smooth. It's like, and if there was like lines in there that were like indented, you'd feel them, and that'd be weird.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like if there were the subtlest stamp of 5 lines,
that might be
it
good.
would be stamped in.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do a black underglaze in there to get it.
Yeah, that would probably
a little
be
bit
good
to stand out.
I mean, I certainly have the opportunity to sign them, and like on the very first ones I did a tiny little smiley face.
I did see that on some of them, yeah.
But
I don't know what tools you use for that, but it wasn't.
I don't remember.
You didn't just draw it.
No, I like indented in. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell us how you got your name, RD Ceramics.
I don't know. I don't know where the R and the D come from.
God
but,
forbid.
You know, it's
when
something.
When did that happen?
Birth related or I don't know. Some people can't read it though. Yeah, just RD Ceramics. I didn't really put too much thought about the whole.
Backwards
do I use the word
D?
ceramics? Do I use the word pottery?
Oh.
Like crafts. Just
Yeah.
ceramics sounded the best, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And
where did the backwards D come from? Oh, no, backwards
So-
R, right? It's a backwards R.
it's a backwards R and a forward D. So I was playing around in high school. Our instructor asked us to sign our work and come up with something unique. So I was playing around with different ways to write my initials.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he suggested it to just simplify it
And combine that
and
shared
use
line.
the straight line of the D,
Mm-hmm.
and then just use that straight line and just do the R off the back of
Yeah,
it
I love that. I think it's
in reverse. So it's
good
like
design.
so simple.
Yeah.
And then my graphic that I use for, my card and the board that I have and everything is just, I actually like wrote it out on paper in Sharpie and,
Yeah.
photocopied it or whatever and made it into Photoshop or whatnot. So it's pretty crisp.
We should talk about. Oh, go on.
I think it's pretty obvious that it's an R and a D, but
I think
and
so.
then sometimes when I say it out loud, people think I'm saying like RT or RD.
Arty. Yeah.
They don't really get the R and the D, but yeah, and then they'll ask me like what my name is because I don't really say that, but
Yeah. Let's talk about how we came up with Wheel Talk. We never talked. I don't know if we've ever talked about that, have we?
Maybe. I mean, in our year recaps, maybe we breezed over it.
Oh yeah, maybe. We had a list of so many names.
Right.
Oh my god, so many.
There's
names.
probably 30 on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
You think it was that many?
Yeah, I do.
Something like that.
And it was like wheel chat, chattery chat. And
Craft sessions.
craft session. Like, and we were I don't know if we were talking in person or something. We were like, wheel.
The craft
like,
table.
Wheel.
Wheel chatter. Wheel chats. I got the list here, so let's get wheel.
Let's get wheel. That one I really wanted. Let's get wheel because it's so funny. I think it's
The
a
wheel
bit
life?
insensitive though. Let's get wheel. Wheel life. Yeah.
Getting wheel with Ryan and Becca.
Yeah. And
Maker's chatter.
I feel like
Maker's
you
chat.
wanted something a little bit more serious originally.
Well,
Or with chat.
Pot life, Potter's life, Maker's cast. We kind of wanted it kind of agnostic of
Yeah.
clay a little bit if it could, but the wheel didn't necessarily mean that that's kind of us is
Yeah.
wheel, and that's kind of how we started, was just talking at the wheel. So
Yeah.
and then the play on words obviously is
Real.
awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've never once regretted our name. Never. I have regretted. No, that's a lie. I have regretted that it's not podcast. But we have that as our website, and so it was okay.
You mean naming it Wheel Talk Podcast?
Yes.
But I mean, you always say we have a podcast called Wheel Talk.
Yeah.
Podcast. Like, you know it's a podcast.
Yeah,
You just said it was a podcast.
Yeah. Yeppers.
Get thrown. Spinning thoughts. Yeah, so. Yep. I like it, how we settled on that.
Me too. Okay, what's our next question? I will say it.
Yeah, this is the topic for today, so.
Yeah, which will be probably pretty short. But, hey, so I'm trying to catch up on all the episodes I missed out on. But I had a question with regards to the home sale that Ryan does. Very good timing. Is there any episodes on how to go about doing that process? I have a nice big home studio, so I'd like to host an open studio sale for Christmas, but I have no idea where to even start. That is Passionate Arts and Ceramics. Arts and Crafts, sorry.
Passion Arts and Crafts.
Yeah.
All right. So, home studio sale. There's not really a guide to doing this.
Yeah.
And I was initially thinking it was going to be bigger than it was. I was thinking bigger when I was planning it. I was kind of planning it as we talked about Backyard Craft Show in the past on here. So I was thinking of it like a Backyard Craft Show light. Just for the winter. But I think after talking with Becca about it, she was like, no, you should just do a show that is just you for the holidays.
Yeah.
So it's not, multiple people, multiple artists there, and then you have to, spread around the sales with other people and all that stuff. So I just went the simple route, pick a date that works for my schedule, figure out when you want to do it. I went with the holiday show, so mine's mid-November, first week of November, second week of November. But I did that just based on other conflicts with shows that are going on. You're not right in the mix of winter show season.
Right. You want to be
where there's a lot of other events that are going to pull somebody to.
Yeah.
Or that you can sell at. Like, if you already have plans to sell at a show that you've sold at for years, or there's a big one that people go to a lot, I would rather go to that and pay $90 or $100 or whatever to pay and sell at a show where they're doing a lot of the marketing and the they have mailing lists of who they send it to, and it's a scheduled event that's in a certain area of town that is like conducive for people to come to, and I don't have to do as much. I just have to make sure that I'm prepared and I show up and set up and tear down. So
yeah,
there's not a ton that goes into it, but so that's where the scheduling comes in. Some people do it multiple weekends throughout the year, and they'll just have it, I'm doing it the weekend of Thanksgiving, and I'm doing it the second week of December. So, and if depending on your studio setup and your house, and if you have space to just leave stuff on display and you don't have to do a ton to put it up, tear it down, and all that, then you could kind of make it a multiple weekend thing and give people other options to stop by. But I mean, I would say that the big benefit is you can decide how much money you want to put into it.
Yeah.
For if you want to go the route like Becca was talking about, if you want to go the route of having drinks and snacks and desserts and all this stuff and make it like an event for people to come to and enjoy some refreshments.
Yeah.
And buy pottery or whatever you have, then that's an option. But I'm just kind of going simple with it and, keeping it just easy. So I'm not going to get over it. It shouldn't be an overwhelming event for me. Obviously, I'm going to be a little stressed about are people going to show up? I don't think you can really get over that until you do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was definitely nervous about that the first year I did it. at my house, and that was part of the reason that I wanted to bring other people in to do it with me. And I had this idea, I was going to do it inside the house, so it was, in the living room, dining room area of the old house, and each person would have a 6-foot table, and you'd set up in this part of the house and this part, and you could walk through and see the different people's work. And then if you wanted to go to the studio, you can go down the basement and see the studio, and then you can leave out of the garage if you wanted. And you could do that kind of your rounds to talk to different people. And then I was like, that seems like a lot of work to coordinate.
Yeah.
Because you got to coordinate with the people, and then how much space do they have, where are they setting up,
Mm-hmm.
when do they get in there, bringing stuff into the house, taking it out of the house, people coming in, and then you got to worry about, is it going to be good for them, is it not going to be good for them? I feel like it's more on my shoulders to make it a good event for everybody if I'm hosting other artists.
Yeah.
So I think that's scheduling and planning that. Do you have any thoughts right now? I feel like I can keep going, but I just want to...
No, it's good that you're keeping going. I think that, when I used to do mine, I just really made sure people knew about it ahead of time on my social medias and like at different like local places, because where I was, people had to travel to me, it was like some people came.
Are you talking about when you were at your home?
Yeah, when I was at my
before
home
you were
home.
at the studio in Monroe?
Yeah,
okay.
I used to do like little art garage sales, and people would come from Seattle, which is like 45 minutes away. So like, yes.
Wow.
So it was like a thing, So I would just give a well in advance, like shout out to people and like keep updating as much as you can. And how
did you do that? Did you go Facebook event route?
I did Facebook event, and I do think that Facebook events still work really well, even if you don't have a huge following on Facebook. It's just nice, it's a nice way to get the old people in on it,
Yeah. That's the route I've been taking the last couple times I've done it. And I basically just create the event, put a featured photo. I don't even do the whole doing graphics and things like that to make it look like it's a postcard of like a fancy event. I just do a graphic of my work that's the banner image, and I title the event appropriately, so it's RD Ceramics Holiday Open Studio Sale.
Right. Yeah.
Second annual is what I put. So it looks a little bit more like, hey, I've done this before.
Yeah, super simple,
and it's an event on my business page. And then I'll usually on the page, I'll go to the discussion section and I'll add a post at the beginning saying, hey, I've got this event coming up with a couple photos of my work, maybe of me, and then some of my table at a show. I think showing your work at a show gives a little more context to, hey, I'm established enough that I go to shows.
Yeah.
So if they don't know you, that it gives them a little more confidence that you're not just doing it as a hobby, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are a hobbyist and you're doing a home studio sale, that's fine too. But just show kind of a gamut of your work so people can get a sense of what you provide, what they can expect there. So I'll usually just do a quick post there. So if they first drop into the event, they can do a quick look of any information about it. And then I just posted yesterday or something that was taking a couple photos of, hey, these are some pieces in the studio that I'm sanding to get ready for the show. So it's just a little trickle of posts. And generally I neglect my Facebook business page quite a bit because
Me too.
Instagram, I only post reels these days, and the reels don't cross post nicely. So I have to be intentional to go into my Facebook account and actually post something. And it could be copy the description of the reel and then go into Facebook and go post a reel. But it's not the same medium. You're not posting the same kind of content. Reels on Facebook are not going to get traction like they do on Instagram. People are not going to Facebook to watch reels.
Right.
So it's just a different animal. and you have to treat it differently. So, that's where captions and images are more appropriate on Facebook. So that's one thing. And then hopefully you get people that'll come onto your Facebook that are local, that'll find you and already be following you. Maybe they already know you from Facebook, but that's where I don't generally put a ton of information on my Instagram about the sale, because most of my people that follow me are not local. So I've probably neglected that a little bit, not mentioning it, but I'll basically just, put some stories, 2 or 3 stories leading up to it over a couple weeks before. And then I don't know that I'll make a specific post leading up to it. Maybe I will. I think I did a post today that was just kind of mentioning taking some stuff out of the kiln.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of trickling in there, hey, I'm doing this sale this weekend if you're local, just in case. And also be aware, if you're posting stuff like reels, it could take multiple days to gain traction and get a lot of people to see it. So don't expect to post something the morning of, and that's going to be seen by people the day of and the next day. If the show's 2 days long or 1 day, it's not really going to gain traction as much. So you kind of have to trickle it in over a couple weeks, like Becca was saying.
Yeah.
Just let people know it's coming. So the Facebook event, and then I just, cost-wise, all I do is spend Facebook ads to boost the event. So it's up to you how much you want to spend. I think last time I might have spent $200 or $100. You can do whatever you want, but the more money you throw at it, the more people is going to see it.
Do you think it's worth it? Like, obviously you think it's worth it because you do it.
I think it's worth it just because there's not another way that I'm going to get people to stop by.
Yeah.
Unless, I guess I do a couple. Well, I do 3 things to advertise. Well, 4 things technically to advertise it. Social media is 1. Mm-hmm. The Facebook boosted post is 2. Mm-hmm. You could say that's considered social media, but paying for advertising on there. So just doing the boosted event, and it's going to show the event with whatever description you put in the post. And you can determine how much you want to put there. And then I do my shows that I go to. I hand out the little slips that say, where will I be next?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For
Every one of those that I give out at a show leading up to the event. So this event was in November. Usually I will curate my where will I be next based on what shows I have coming up immediately. So I'll probably start advertising that event in probably August, maybe.
Okay.
I think I picked the date back in like August, September timeframe. So let's say August, I start giving these sheets out to every single sale that I get starting in August. And that could be 500 people that I give this out to.
Yeah.
Because I print a lot of these off, and, going to shows, that's the best advertising. You can just give these things out and it's with every purchase. So somebody's already bought from you. They already have some kind of connection with your work. And, everybody doesn't keep those. They just toss them if they don't want it or whatever. But they got the sheet. So that's number 3, advertising wise. And then 4 is my signs I put in the neighborhood.
Okay, here's a thought. And I don't know if this is still a thing. But do you remember Groupon?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe you could use Groupon for something like this. Like, put in a little coupon, like $10 off or whatever, and like...
Because it's very location specific, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? So, like, you could... I'm wondering if that would work. Like, I'm just looking up the site right now, and it seems like it wouldn't be hard. Like, there's 0 upfront cost is what it says. And I wonder...
I've never thought about Groupon from a business perspective.
I mean, I've never used it, so I don't know, but I was just thinking about it. Like, because I used to do classes and stuff, and people were like, you should do it on Groupon.
So you never did it before?
No.
Did you have other small businesses in Monroe that had done those?
I think some did, but I can't remember for sure.
Oh.
I don't even know if people still use it. You know?
I've used it every now and then. I used it back in the day more just to get like cheaper things that were, I've got TVs off there before.
Yeah.
Like refurbished TVs. And I've got oil changes off there that are local. Because you can usually get like an oil change and tire rotation for a reasonable price. And then I think I might have got, because they usually have like gift certificates. Let's say you spend $15 and you get $30 worth of a gift certificate to some small business.
Yeah.
Dinner. So I've got those before, or cheap things like pants or something, or, socks or whatever, that it's like a batch and it's a decent price, but, kind of cheap apparel stuff.
Listen to this. Literally on the Groupon site, it says, yeah, we still exist. Thanks for asking. Let's get it all out on the table. Here are some things you might have heard about Groupon over the years.
Wow.
Groupon might be good for some businesses, but not mine. Groupon is terrible for small businesses. Groupon customers are cheap. They visit once and don't come back. Running on Groupon will make my business seem cheap.
Wow.
It says, sound familiar? We get it. Groupon had some problems in the past, but we've changed. We listened to our merchant partners, improved what was working, and ditched what wasn't. And now Groupon is more merchant friendly than ever. Interesting.
Huh. Okay. So let's say you did a Groupon.
Okay.
What would you
I think that you would have to do like, I don't know, you could like offer something for free, or like a small, like a shot glass or something with a purchase. Right?
Free shot glass with purchase.
I mean,
or free ornament with purchase, or
no, don't do a fucking
something
ornament.
small.
A shot glass. Don't be cheap.
A shot glass?
Or do like 20% off or 10% off or something like that, to make them like want to come, but like keep in mind that they wouldn't come other than that. You wouldn't advertise the Groupon.
But isn't the Groupon, you buy it and then you bring it to claim it?
I don't know.
That's how Groupons work for me. So let's say I bought an oil change at a discount. I bought a $40 Groupon.
Okay, so then
for a $60 value. So you pay Groupon, they get the money, and then they give you the money.
Okay.
Whether they come and claim it or not, they give you the money.
So you would do,
and Groupon takes their percentage.
Here's a gift card for $60 for $40 or whatever like that.
Oh yeah, that'd probably be more appropriate.
Yeah, or like here's one for $20. That's $20 for 10. Or something stupid. I mean, obviously not those numbers, but.
And then would you make it exclusive to only be usable at that show, or would you say this is redeemable?
Oh, I guess.
And it expires 6 months from now.
I guess that might be good, like redeemable for all winter shows before Christmas, or.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I wonder what the split would be. I wonder what Groupon takes from that.
It is curious. I wonder what they do, but I mean, I don't.
Because let's say Groupon takes 10%.
Yeah.
And you give a $60 coupon or a $60 gift card for $40. Obviously, it's a brand new customer, so you're giving, and they don't necessarily have to come redeem it. Obviously, you're out the most money if they come redeem it. But if they don't redeem it...
Yeah, but if they do redeem it, the likelihood of them redeeming it with more purchases is high. Mm-hmm. Gift cards, I don't know if this has ever been said on this podcast before, but
we've talked about it with Isaac before.
Gift cards are the way of the world, okay? Because nobody fucking redeems gift cards unless you're my customers. So, like... gift cards. Oh God, I've got customers. I still have customers. Like I literally had a customer 2 weeks ago that was like, "Hey, I want to get a mystery box. I have $50 left on this gift card from 1992. No, from 2018."
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, yeah.
And then you go to, how can I even accept this gift card on my website?
Oh, no.
You have to create a coupon code, or do you just ship them something?
No, I just shipped it to them. It was like they wanted a $50 mystery box. It couldn't have been any better. They wanted a $50 mystery box. They had $50. I was like, great, you have to pay $10.
Did they take
shipping.
a photo of it or something like that so you knew that they were...
She sent me a photo, but I recognized her name too. It's not like it's a small world.
That's good.
It's a small world we live in.
Yeah, because I mean, technically, you close your business. You don't have to.
I don't, but I'm a nice human, so here we are.
You know, I don't know the right word for that. I was gonna say admire the gift card, but
Adriana is getting $180 or $160. Remember?
Wow.
That plate one.
Oh right, you did your sale where it was a super sale or something.
God, that was
gift cards and
the best gift card sale ever for anybody. It was.
What was it?
Whatever you buy, you get double. So if you paid $80,
whatever you buy, you get double.
Yeah, so if you paid $80, you get a $160 gift card
to use for your next purchase.
And at the time, I had classes that were $160. So,
oh wow.
Mhm. It was a
and you could use
steal.
You could use that gift card for paint a pot or class or pottery.
Yeah. Yep.
That doesn't seem financially viable.
Do you know how many people actually return those gift cards? Like 5.
Out of how many?
20.
Okay.
It was definitely financially okay for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it worked out.
I mean, in the end, the way you net that out is you made full price for those, and then the people that redeemed them, you ultimately end up, giving them a 15% discount on. It's as if you gave everybody a 15% discount on work or something like that, right?
And I mean, it was even better if they used them on paint your own pottery, because that was like nothing. The markup on paint your own pottery is insane. So
yeah, gift cards are interesting. I mean, it's not tangible, but some people don't want to buy pottery for somebody that they don't know exactly what they're going to like, so a gift card's not the best, not the worst.
You can offer digital gift cards through Square for free. And
I think we talked about this before, and you were saying, do I need to get physical ones, or can I just, because you can email them.
You can email them, and you don't need to get physical ones. I got physical business cards, and then I just wrote the number down for the gift card, so that if they brought it in, all I needed was like the last 4 digits of the number. But
right, and that's something you can physically give somebody without printing off a piece of paper and folding it up and giving it.
It looked a lot nicer, right. But I don't know. I from my experiences in the last couple of years, I'm apprehensive to do gift cards just because of that whole thing of people coming back years and years and years later. And one of them was
then
warranted.
You just put the expiration on there.
You can't put expirations on gift cards.
I thought you said that was a certain state.
It might be certain state things. I know for Washington you cannot put expirations on gift cards. However, you can on gift certificates. They're different.
What the fuck is the difference?
Gift certificates are literally a piece of paper, and gift cards are cards. So, one's a digital format versus a paper format.
What?
A gift card literally goes into a system. Like it's like into the computer system, right? So it registers with the computer, as opposed to a gift certificate, which is a piece of paper that you hand over to somebody.
Which is basically like a coupon.
Yes.
Coupon?
I say coupon, but you know what? Whatever floats your boat.
Okay, so a gift certificate is basically a coupon.
Yeah.
And a gift card is... Okay. Interesting. So certificates can have expirations. Cards cannot.
Right. Can you put expiration dates on gift cards? Federal law. Under the law, a gift card cannot expire until at least 5 years from the date it was activated. Okay, so there we go.
Unless your business... What if your business closes?
Then it's void. Oh, and if the balance on the card Oh, this is in California. If the balance on the gift card is less than $10, you can redeem it for cash. What?
Really?
I see
You know
a
what?
scam happening
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, somebody just issues a whole bunch of gift cards, hands them out, and they say, okay, go get cash.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know. There's definitely some gaming options there. Did you ever back in the day get a gift card to restaurants or something, and then they would depreciate over time?
What?
So you would check a balance. Can you take your hand away from your
Oh,
mouth?
sorry.
I wonder if that's part of the reason, the volume stuff. Yeah, I would get a gift card for food for Christmas or something for $25, and then you don't use it for a year, and it would slowly depreciate in value.
I think that's
And it
illegal.
would be worth $21.82 after, so it would just slowly lose its value.
That seems really not okay.
I don't know if it's still a thing. I don't think it's a thing anymore, but it used to be like that.
So when I was growing up, I did not get gift cards almost ever. My parents did not give me gift cards. That was like not a thing. All my friends got gift cards and I was so jealous. And but yeah, no, we didn't do gift cards. Even now. Even now gift cards are not a thing. So no, I did not know that.
Yeah.
The amount of gift cards that I've had in my life are very few compared to most people, I feel like.
Yeah. That was probably like late 90s, early 2000s
Yeah.
when I remember that happening. I don't know if it was specific businesses or what type of thing, but it was a thing at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, back to Groupon stuff. So Groupon, interesting option. I'd never thought of that.
I'd never thought of it, but when you were talking about it, I was like, maybe that would work.
Okay, and then I'm sure there's other avenues that you could go about advertising. I'm not as tuned in with my local like
Yeah.
Northern Kentucky right by me options. I could always go find out online.
Yeah.
Northern Kentucky, like there's a Northern Kentucky Link website that does news in the Northern Kentucky area and in the neighborhoods, and they do advertising on there. I'm sure I could reach out to them and put an ad in to get digital ad, or I'm sure there's magazines that are local to me that I could probably put an ad in there.
Yeah.
Or the NKU at newspaper. I don't know if marketing to students would be interesting, but something like that would be probably an option. But I haven't quite gone to that route yet.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about maybe digging into some of that, or possibly reaching out. Maybe there's a public relations or something part of the city council that I can talk to and just ask if they know some people that I can look into, or some places I can look into for advertising. But obviously those fees will go, those expenses will go up.
Yeah.
So all of that's on you to offset with your sales. So if I were to do that, I would probably do it a little bit piecemeal, and maybe I wouldn't throw $350 at Facebook ads like I am this year. Maybe I would throw $150 and then do $100 towards a small ad in a local paper.
Yeah. I don't know if people...
Because obviously local papers would appeal more to like an older audience, and they might have the free time at that time of year to come by or stumble upon or go to this show. But we'll see. The neighborhood signs have helped. The first time I did it, I was surprised because I got, obviously people are just driving in the neighborhood and they would pass the sign every single day, twice a day if they're leaving. So, spanned it over, usually I put them out there a week before, so spanned over a week, you're going to pass it at least 6 or 8 times.
I also have a good idea. Pizza boxes. Whenever...
Pizza boxes?
Yeah. I don't know if people are as nice as Bridget is, but whenever I had like a sale or anything, I'd always hand over like 100 coupons to the local pizza place, and they would put it on their pizza boxes. They would just tape it to the pizza boxes, and you could offer to tape.
Is this a small business pizza place?
Not like not like Domino's or anything like that, but you could ask Domino's. I don't know what they would do, but like a small town pizza place. I mean,
there's a Pizza Hut at the end of my street. There's a City Barbecue at the end of my street.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting if you could,
Place.
like, go into, like, this is, like, really wild type marketing, but it would be interesting, especially with, like, Grubhub right now and, like, all the delivery stuff that's happening. It'd be interesting if you went into City Barbecue or whatever and was like, hey, I have this thing happening just up the street, and I was wondering if you could put these in all of your to-go orders, you know?
That's an option.
That's an option.
It's worth asking.
I also
mean,
think putting signs, asking a bank if you can put a sign on the window at the bank or something. The post office, like.
I actually asked the post office.
Is it because it's federal?
Because there's a piece of land that's out right where it meets the main road. And it's right where a street light crosswalk thing is. And I've seen signs out there before, but it's always on the sidewalk. It's like a sandwich board on the sidewalk. And I think it's because that's not considered their land. So I asked one of the postal workers inside. It wasn't one of the two guys that I'm used to seeing. The lady that was there, I'd not seen before, so she may not have been able to answer me as well. But I was basically like, hey, I've seen signs out here, and I have this sign. I came in with the sign. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I was wondering if this is your land or not. And she was basically like, I don't know where the property line is. And even if it was our land, we can't advertise on postal property.
Because it's federal. So,
yeah, which makes sense. So I couldn't put
that
anything on the door or anything like that. So that's fine. I basically put two signs on the street and then one sign up the street tonight up by like a busy intersection. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think Rachel was saying, we need to bold it a little bit more. I just did I didn't do anything fancy with printing anything off. I just used craft paper.
Yeah.
And then wrote it in like thick black Sharpie. So it, it says RD Ceramics Holiday Studio Sale with the address Saturday and Sunday. And then 10 to 3.
You know what would be funny is if you just put garage sale on it, you'd probably get a fuck ton more people.
I don't want to
if you were like garage sale and then like under it pottery sale. It's actually a pottery sale. Oh my goodness. You can have your garage open with pots in it, and then it is a garage sale. It's just a pottery garage sale.
No. Then you get people there
disgruntled. Why don't you have anything for 25 cents?
The ass crack of the morning. I'm like, sorry, we don't start till 10. Sorry. I do like the idea of getting the small businesses semi-small businesses up the street.
Yeah.
They're all kind of like franchises and things like that. But
remember, franchises are still owned by a local business owner.
Oh, that's
just
true.
Remember
okay, so
that.
even though it's Pizza Hut, it's not like I'm asking them to, hey, can you approve this with Master Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut and Domino's are different. They're actually not franchises, if I understand correctly. But like Dairy Queen is a franchise. So it means they're independently owned. I'm sure.
Or if the sub place.
I'm sure Raising Cane's is a franchise. A lot of pizza places are franchise.
What about that Chipotle? I feel like Chipotle is probably not going to do it.
Chick-fil-A is a franchise. Chipotle is not a franchise. McDonald's is a franchise.
I got a McDonald's connection. I mean,
that you do. But McDonald's is.
I feel like they'd be more stringent though. They're not.
McDonald's is like the franchise. Is like the franchise king, and they would not do that. But
yeah, why would they want to support me?
No, it's more.
Why would they want to set the precedent?
It's more that like some franchises have a lot of leniency and some don't, and franchise literally is like making the same thing over and over and over again. Like that's why they're franchised, because you're paying into franchise rights. So like when you buy a business, like. Let's say you buy Chick-fil-A and you put in, I think Steak and Shake is franchise. When you put in your $20K into a, 20K investment into Chick-fil-A or whatever, they buy the building, they buy the, there's two different types of franchises too. Like they'll buy the building, they'll buy all these things, and you have to follow every rule tit for tat, you know? But then there's other franchises where you rent the building, you get the signs, you do the things, they give you the logos, they give you the pizza sauce recipe, they give you the cheese that you should be buying, like they give you the people that you should be buying. So it's your business, but there's certain guidelines that you can follow, you know? And to break a franchise, I only know this because
I was like, where'd you get your franchise degree?
Dude. One of my friends broke her franchise agreement, and that was my first personal loan. Because that's where I got my franchise degree. She decided that she didn't want to be part of this franchise anymore, so she stopped doing everything. I remember going into her pizza restaurant in the middle of the night, ripping off everything that had franchise stuff on it, and like we flipped over the signs, we took everything out that had the franchise name on it, and it was like this whole big fucking ordeal. And
wow, real life university right there.
Oh yeah, and she ended up paying a fair amount of money to the franchise company for breaking it, but she ended up being free of it. So now she's free of it, and she doesn't have to deal with it anymore. She can do whatever she wants. And, you know, she paid 10% of her income to that franchise just to use their name, which wasn't needed in her case. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be going that out there with
that's true. You probably
making this a humongous event. I think I like to keep it the consistency is what I think is going to make it successful.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to be moving every 3 years or whatever. So, you know, they always know it's here. You make
and you're
friends with your neighbors.
You're not in like a tiny town, you know, like that kind of stuff where you put things on pizza boxes. That's a tiny town situation. You know, and like that is helpful for somebody who lives out in the bumfuck nowhere where they don't have the reach that you could, you know.
Yeah, like a Facebook ad.
Yeah,
is not gonna be
helpful
as good of a reach as an intimate thing of pizza boxes going to people's. And you'd have to have a lot of forethought for the pizza box situation.
Yeah, lots of forethought.
It seems like you would, because you'd have to come up with a graphic, you'd have to get it printed, you'd have to talk to them beforehand, know how many to deliver, and then obviously you'd have to get it to them. I mean, you'd want hopefully a few hundred delivered, I would think. I think some of the businesses might be open to, you know, putting a postcard or a
lots of businesses
poster in a window. I feel like that would be an easy win that they would probably agree to over handing things out with every purchase, because
you could start with handing out. You'd be like, hey, I was wondering if you could hand out with all your to-go boxes, and then when they say no, you're like, well, could I put this in your window? Make it sound a lot less.
Or you just say, can I set a stack of these somewhere by the door?
Right.
Or
yeah, you know, like Brickyard, Deanna brought in like a show that she was in and put it on, you know, put it in front of the register for people to pick up. And
yeah, we do that at the Clay Lines Gallery. We'll have, you know, upcoming shows, or you just have postcards. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to go the route of getting postcards made so that you could hand it. I mean, you have to, obviously you'd have to get the graphics and then the dates and all that stuff, and then have enough runway to give them out, whether it's me giving them out at shows, and that's instead of the little slip of paper that has one line item about it, I would give out a postcard for my show, or I would, you know, give them out to the businesses, or do posters or something like that. So that's definitely an option, and like I said, that the expenses will add up. But yeah, I was thinking in the future, you know, would we want to get postcards for something like the Backyard Craft Show? You know, with 10 of us selling or 12 of us selling, if we could get 500 postcards printed and sent out to all the different.
Oh my God, your mom could take them to church, and like
she could drop them off.
Yeah, we could just like run through the Kroger parking lot and put them on everybody's cars.
Oh, fuck that.
I'm kidding.
Print those on black and white. We're not putting real postcards.
I think
no colored postcards.
I mean,
but yeah, something, you know, keep it somewhat simple, and
yeah. Don't put things in
you could
people's
go
mailboxes.
way overboard. You could go way overboard with all this stuff
Yeah.
if you really wanted to, and make it. And then you'd have to gauge what's worth the time and the investment,
Right.
and what's not. When it's all just me, I mean, maybe I would get Rachel involved more to, hey, can you come up with a graphic?
Yeah.
And I know some places to get them printed because we get stuff printed for the Clay Alliance all the time for
Yeah.
shows that we do. So I would have that connection. It's just having the forethought, not deciding all that stuff within 2 or 3 weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
You have to be like, all right, I'm doing this show. Here's the dates. I'm going to figure this out 3 months before or whatever.
For sure.
But I don't know. I did it 2 years ago, and obviously there's no table fee. It's really just what I spent on advertising. So let's say $300 is what I spent. Maybe I think I spent like $200 on the Facebook ads last time.
And how much did you make?
I think I made about $1,200.
Yeah, that's not bad.
For it was a 2-day.
Yeah.
And that was winter 2020. So that was still
and
like
they had to walk up your fucking driveway.
Peak COVID sort of time in the, November, October of 2020. So, but it was great. I got to meet some neighbors, and I feel like there's probably some people that see me walking in the neighborhood, because I mean, I walk to and from the post office like every other day. Yeah. So there's got to be people that see me walk in the neighborhood, and then I go walk or jog in the neighborhood after work every other day.
Yeah.
So there's probably people that see me around. They don't know that's who I am.
Next time, make a T-shirt. Oh my God, I can make you a T-shirt, and you can put it on the back, and then
RD Ceramics holiday show.
RD Ceramics. You could be a walking billboard. Every time you a sweatshirt. Every time you go to the post office.
Or a bag, the bag that says RD Ceramics on it.
Ooh, yeah. Or just carry a sign. Just carry one of those soup signs that you get a.
I could just wear a sandwich board like like Bruce Willis in Die Hard with a Vengeance, except it won't say something horribly racist on it. But just a sign that's got a front back RD Ceramics holiday studio sale.
What you need it to say is want pot? Tari?
No, I will not be doing that.
I came here to sell pot. We don't have that, but do you want some pottery? You want some snub bowls? Some bud bowls? Some water bongs?
Yeah, so I'm not really setting expectations here, but some other considerations you should probably think about. It's obviously going to depend on your house studio situation, whether you decide to do it indoor, outdoor,
garage.
If you want to do it in the garage or out in the yard. This year I'm going with in the basement right next to the studio, because I think it's supposed to get down to the 20s, 30s maybe. So it's going to be a little chillier. I don't really want to be outside in that. And also, I don't want to have to set up a bunch of stuff. Then I would ideally like to set up beforehand. So setting it up indoors is easier. You could set it up over the whole week and then have it ready. People can come shop, and you could tear down whenever you want. So, maybe I'm a little worried because people are going to have to come around the side of the house to come to the back to see it. But I think I can probably trickle some stuff out there. So maybe I'll put a table down at the end of the walkway. Mm-hmm. So when they start walking down the side yard, I'll put some signs or whatever that says, if they come to the front door, like come around the back to see it or whatever, with a sign going down the sidewalk and whatnot. So I'll probably put like a table at the end of the walkway. So when they start coming down, they can see the table of pottery, and then they can hook a right in the patio might have a table of pottery on it under the awning, and then they can work their way inside. And I think I'm gonna make a fire down here so it's nice and cozy, and then we'll have some little treats or cookies or whatever, snacks, and then people can browse. Plus it's right next to the studio, so people can come into the studio and see what the working studio looks like, as well as the kilns and things like that.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if you could like stream some videos of you like throwing on the TV.
I was just gonna play like holiday music on the TV.
Fine.
I don't really have any You mean like going through Instagram feeds of
I guess,
reels and stuff like that?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know how it would do that. I'm sure there's a service that you could probably just link to.
This week you should just video yourself. You could just be like, just video yourself for 3 hours throwing, and then just put it on there. You'll have the kids mesmerized the whole time.
There's no kids that are going to show up.
That's what you think.
There'll be like barely any kids that'll show up.
That's what you think.
The guy up the street with like 5 kids might show up. But we'll find out.
Yeah.
I think it should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Plus, if anything, it's incentivize us to clean the basement a little bit.
Yeah, it looks nice down there.
A lot bit.
Yeah.
So, and tidy up the studio a little bit, but just kind of kick my butt into gear a little bit to get some work out, get some work fired, and get ready for my shows. I don't expect to put a big dent in the work that I sell.
Yeah.
If anything, it'll get me to kind of see what I have available for the shows the rest of the year, and then help pack the one thing I'm not looking forward to is having to bring down all of my pots from up in the garage, because I gotta bring them all the way downstairs to display them and all that. But I'll probably bring them around the side of the house. I'm telling you,
fix the dumbwaiter.
The dumbwaiter, that is not efficient at all. It's not even big enough to hold a box.
That's what you think. We could fit a lot of shit in there. I could fit a lot of shit in there.
No. By the time that thing would go from the top floor down...
You don't know that.
You could have walked up and down the stairs twice.
You know what?
With more stuff.
Or you could just do it slowly over the week. Dumbwaiter it down.
That sounds like a dumb idea. That's like a party trick that is not efficient at all.
We gotta go.
Hey, Rachel, I'm sending it down. Are you ready?
Are you ready? I have to go. I'm getting very nauseous right now, so.
All right.
Sorry to cut short, but.
You're good. We don't have anything else.
We don't have anything else.
All right. Good luck with your show if you end up doing a show.
Yeah.
I'm also not going crazy with like ornaments and stuff like that. I don't really make Christmas themed items, so
yeah, fuck
that's not
shit.
really my thing either. So I would say don't kill yourself. Just start somewhere, do it, see how it goes, and adjust from there for the next time.
Get it.
So, all right. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, higgity yo. It's Becca here. Hey, just so you know, thank you for listening. And also, we have... What do we have again? A Patreon. We have a Patreon that you should go, and if you want to donate to, you could donate to it. If you don't, that's cool too. But just Google Wheel Talk Podcast Patreon. Don't do the other one, because there is a Wheel Talk on Patreon, but it's not us. So make sure you get the right one. It's in the show notes. And also, leave us a review because they're fun to read. Okay, bye!